Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's Monday and we got Keri on. Hi, darling.
Good morning. How is everybody? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We got our cuppas. We're
That's
ready to
right.
rock and roll. So let's get some people in here. I just turned it on. Oh, I've got to turn my volume down. I just turned it on so I can see that we are indeed live and see who's jumping on with us.
Absolutely. Let's get it shared out there. Let me grab my phone here.
Yeah, let's share. There we are. Sharing is caring. Carol
Keri
Allison,
is Keri.
Carol's here. Prachir is here. Deirdre, good morning. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's Monday. People are slow waking up. Sharon Boyle is here.
Good morning. Because I won't be able to see comments. So just so you know.
Okay. Well, I will let you know what people are saying. Yeah, we got hearts already. People are giving us love.
I need some hearts. Just some, so lots going on. When you're an energetic person and you have no energy, you tend to get worried and doubt, and you start bringing things into your life that you don't need.
Yes.
So
exactly.
It's really nice. That love, keep it coming. Bring in that good vibrations. Good.
All right.
Good vibrations.
All right. Y'all heard it. She's asking for love. So what are we going to do? We're going to give love today.
Yay.
Yeah. Where is it? The love. There it is. Love. That's what we're all about today. Oh, goodness. People are finding us now. We have Angie Taylor.
Good morning, Angie Taylor.
Let
me share this out as well. Wow, let me turn that down so I can share it out with everyone.
Okay. Rick Morrow is here. And
good morning. Good morning.
Keri Prachir says that he likes your coffee cup with the Om.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm going to go to work. No, I'm going to stay right here.
That's right. Namaste right here.
Namaste right here at the Cracker Box. So how's everyone feeling? What's going on with everyone? Teri and I had kind of talked a little bit about some things that were laid on our hearts. Just curious as to what's going on with everyone. How was your weekend? How are you feeling when you get up this morning? What is your energy? What is your level? That's one thing I'm starting to take notice of, how I'm feeling. And I can be honest with you. I've been very tired. I have slept a lot, and I'm not a big sleeper at all.
Right.
Like I'm a night owl. I'm up all night. 4 hours for me has always been great. But I am needing a solid 8 to 10 the last week.
Wow. I don't think I have slept 8 hours in probably 10 years. I do not sleep well. Yeah, I don't. I get maybe 4 or 5 hours a night. And I have my Fitbit that tracks my sleep, and it's not happy with me. It keeps reminding me you should be in bed, and I'm like, no, I'm wide awake.
Exactly. Or like that, I'll go to sleep really early, and then I'm waking up at like 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm up. So now what?
Yeah. It's like sleep schedule. What is that? I have no idea. Oh, we have Julie Kiss from New York. Hi, Julie.
Good morning, Julie.
Kamal Shah from Pakistan is watching with us.
Welcome.
And Becky and Luann. Oh my gosh, the gang's all getting in here. And Hope, I think I missed you. Hope Wellington Marshall, I love you so much.
Hi, Hope.
I can listen to Hope talk all day long. She has such a beautiful accent. Yeah, just
Where's
beautiful.
she
from? Australia.
Oh, yes.
I believe. Now, Hope, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're in Australia. She comes into our intentions group. Keri, you need to be in my intentions group. It's on Monday nights, and it's private group on Zoom. So I'll send you the information on that.
I would love to. Thank you. Because I'm an intention kind of fool. You know, I throw them out like people toss pennies.
Yeah, well, we need to
every
get
day.
You in there. Yeah, because you're a strong manifester, so we want you in there.
Yeah, and you know, I've found here lately that I haven't been very good at it, but it's because honestly, it's just like anything else. You have to practice it. You have to put, you know, faith in action, and fearless faith. We can't praise God and thank God for money in one hand and then worry about how we're going to pay our power bill in the next.
Yes.
And so I'm like going through, I've always been kind of a fearless person. I've never been a big worrier. And I'm finding with the conditions just of the world, there's this angst and this worry and this, instead of almost like bringing us all together, I almost feel like we're kind of looking at each other even more sideways than we already were. And I don't want to live like that. I don't live my life like that. Right. So I want to be able to praise God, have abundance, thank Him for His wealth that flows to me daily in so many ways. And I want to love my neighbor just as I love myself. So I hope that we can do that here, you know, and that's why I come to you every morning. I mean, if I hadn't had you all, I probably would have quit a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
They don't know. I walked in last Wednesday and quit my job without another one, without any prospects of another one. I have no idea what I'm going to do or how it's going to play out, but I know it is. So.
Well, you don't have to know the how. Like Karen Palmer says, lose the how and get ready for the wow.
Yay! I love the wow. That's the best part.
Yes, it is. Let's say hi to Wendy. She just popped in.
Hi, Wendy. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for the tag this morning. You're such a beautiful soul, and you just always are there no matter what. And that's amazing. Yeah. Thank you for the energy and the time and your effort.
Yeah, her sister's visiting her right now, so she's spending some time with her. And nice. I'm so glad that visit's going well.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Hope did correct me. She's in London. Oh my God. When you come into the intentions group, you're going to hear her speak. I could just have her sit and talk to me all day long.
Well, you know how much I love London, Liverpool.
I know.
That's like my second. When I go there, my soul is like exhales. So I love any of that area, as you well know.
Yeah. Now you just went to, was it Ireland?
Scotland. I went to Scotland.
Scotland, and that's where your heritage is.
That's where my father's people are from. Yeah, they used to be grocers there in a little place called Kirkcudbright, Scotland. It's in the lowlands, just right over the country line from England. It's just not far. Well, actually, it's about 75 roundabouts before you get there, but you get there.
You get there.
It was a beautiful experience to see the fields I was a seed in, you know. So that was it was a very spiritual trip, very much so.
Oh, I remember the pictures and the videos, and oh my gosh, I just wanted to be there with you. I love all of that land, and I know in another life I was there. I know it in my bones. I can feel it every time I see a picture in there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, that was a 110% manifested trip, as you well know. I spoke that in January, and I told you, I said, I don't have a clue how I'm going to go to Scotland. It's for my 50th, I said, but I'm going, and it just, out of the sky, it fell.
Yeah, it did. And that's so beautiful. And, you know, everything you're saying about manifesting, it's so true. When you put that intention out there and you say, I'm going to do this, you just have to leave it. You can't keep pulling that string back and say, oh, well, wait a minute, I think I can do it this way. You have to just let it go. Like the song, let it go, you know.
Yeah. Let it be.
And not pull it back. Yeah. Absolutely.
I always say, let it be, so be it.
Yeah. You know? I know you're a big Beatles fan, and we're going to talk about that. But I want to say good morning to anybody that we might have missed. Sherry Seymour is here. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
And Jeanette Smith.
I thought I had shared this out. It looks like I didn't.
Well, girl, you're a slacker this morning.
Right? Toot my own horn and didn't toot it.
And we had asked people how they're doing. And a lot of people, like Carol Allen, says she was so exhausted yesterday. Carol, let me tell you, girl, when my head hit that pillow last night, I didn't even blink. I was like out like a light. I was so tired when I laid down. I was surprised I even had pajamas on when I got up this morning. Like, I don't remember going to bed. That's how tired I was. You ever have mornings like that? It's like,
Oh yeah.
ooh,
Oh yeah. I mean, when you're an Energizer bunny and you can't bunny, you're kind of
yeah,
like, whoa, who is this? What is this about? So yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then there's mornings I wake up and I'm like, where am I? You just feel like you've been somewhere else, and you have no idea how you got there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, not to monopolize the conversation, but literally on the day that I quit, I was compelled. I mean, literally picked up. It was all a blur. It was like an out of body experience, and I mean, I've told it to anybody that would listen, and just I wish that I could relive that because I literally kind of stood outside and watched the whole thing happen. It wasn't bad. It wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't, any grand production. It was just like, I'm done. See ya.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was divinely led. I feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. So the big
And,
thing is like just recharge your energy because you're just pouring that out every day. And God bless that it's flowing out of you and it flows out of you because you love it and because you
yeah,
have that energy and you have that giving and you are that nurturer and healer, but heal thyself too. So always recharge. I fuss at you about that a lot.
yes,
I'm always like, how you doing?
absolutely.
Recharge.
Yeah. Well, what I've started doing is having either like a whole morning or scheduling time that I know I'm not going to do anything. I'm not taking clients. I'm not teaching. I'm not coming online. That's for me. That's for me to sit, meditate, veg, whatever comes up, But it's definitely a time away from electronics, which is important also. I have
Yes.
to tell you, I think it was about a year or so ago, I took like a whole day break. Like for 24 hours, nothing was on, not my phone, my computer, no, I don't watch TV, but nothing that was electronic was on in
Yeah.
my house where I was. And that was beautiful. It was
Yeah.
like,
Last week I had several people over. A friend of mine had driven down from Pennsylvania and it was Friday night and I left my phone in the house. I purposely did not
yeah,
bring it and I was off of it for almost 4 hours.
yeah,
And I didn't realize as I sat and watched everybody else who we were all together, but everyone was, there was not a lot of engaging. And I thought, what are we missing?
yeah,
If they're just missing this good time and this chance to fellowship, what else are we missing?
yeah,
You know?
yeah. I know. But I have to tell you, when I did shut everything off in the beginning, those first probably an hour or so, it was hard because we get so addicted to picking it up every minute and seeing what's going on. So it was really hard to just sit there for a minute and go, all right, what am I supposed to do with myself, And then the more I sat with myself and that energy, it was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I did a lot of meditating that day. I did a lot of creating. And after, like I said, after that first hour, that wasn't even a thought. It was like I didn't even pay any attention to the fact that my phone was off, the computer was off, and I just had to be with me. And I think we need days like that.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. It was such a pleasure not to have that distraction. And we
Yeah,
used to, it's just amazing how quickly we can get used to a conditioned thing.
yeah,
You hear that bell ring that from the notification, it's like Pavlov's dogs. You're like,
yeah.
who loves me now? Who hates me
I
now?
know, right?
How great am I now?
Yeah. Or if you're not getting any, it's like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
what's wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah. What's wrong? What's wrong with the world?
Let's say hi to Gabby. Gabby Forster is with us. She was on yesterday where Keri is now.
Hi,
And
Gabby.
oh my gosh, what a beautiful woman. And she's going to take us to the farmhouse. I don't know if you heard that whole story, Keri.
No, I didn't.
There's a 135-year-old farmhouse. Oh my God, girl, you and your camera would love this.
You know, I love my abandoned buildings.
I know. Well, it's not abandoned,
Oh.
and it has beings in there. So she's going to take us to the farmhouse. We get to see where all of this takes place, and where she has communicated with this lady, or the lady has communicated with her. Let's put it that way. But there's a little fear, so I'm going to go in with her through video, and we're going to feel into the energy, and then Gabby's going to come back as a co-host, and we're going to talk about
Yay! I just got chills. I'm excited about that.
I love it. I'm so excited too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have several, probably thousands of pictures with orbs in it. Like,
I know.
There's probably one or two out of that, maybe 100 out of that. I don't know, that you could say, well, the light reflected, it was something that caused that. But I have a lot that, and I tell you, one of the most orbed photographs I've ever taken was of Danny Harrison, George Harrison's son. I got to see him perform in Columbus, Ohio. And I have never seen so many orbs around a person in my life. And I took a lot of still photographs, and they are all around him and all over him. There's one leaving out his mouth. But my friend took video, and the video is like, they are all over the place. It was really neat. It was something to behold. He has a lot of energy, that guy. Lot of energy, and a lot of just beautiful energy. It was beautiful.
I can imagine.
It was just very loving.
I would love to speak with him, or maybe some of the other Beatles sons, and just get their take on being that offspring of somebody that made history, which the Beatles did.
Yeah,
they made
absolutely.
history.
And I think you can embrace it, or you can let it be an anchor. It's very hard to grow in the shade, and they stand in a big shadow.
Oh yeah.
So I think you can embrace it and find your own way, or you can let it break you. So I guess it's just like anything else. Even if you don't have a famous parent, you have a parent like my father and I have a very similar personality. So growing up, I was always in awe of my father. He could walk into any room and just light it up like a 1,000-watt, spotlight. So I'm always in awe of people that have that energy and can do that. And so I learned to kind of coexist with my dad in that realm of just living, and found that it was much happier to be in that kind of a spirit than it was to be in a
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I want you, if you don't mind, to tell us how did you first meet Paul McCarthy? Because I know you've taken many pictures of him. I've seen your cracker box, and I know the pictures that are there. So I'd love to hear this story. Let's say hello first to Stacy, Small Lord.
Hi, Stacy.
And Diana came in.
Good
morning. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry if I'm missing people. Oh, Michael, Warren, and Catherine are here. Charles Coons is here. I love this. People are really coming in and loving you. So
yay, thank you.
Yeah. So you are a photographer. Let's put that out there first. And Keri is an amazing photographer. And I have my picture of the hummingbird that you gave me when I got to meet you live and in person. And that was your present that you gave to me. It's a black and white picture. And oh my God, it speaks volumes, just that picture.
I love that picture.
I remember you telling me that was it in your front yard or
right in my front yard. I set out for weeks and befriended that hummingbird till he finally just got to where, and it was a brilliant, vibrant color, but I chose to do him in black and white to show the aura around him because it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It really was.
Awesome.
I've just right place, right time. I was in Vegas. I had recently gotten divorced. I got laid off. I had a cancer scare. All this stuff happened. This was 2010. And I decided I wanted to go see Paul McCartney in Las Vegas. A bunch of my friends were going. It was my 43rd birthday. It had just been my son's 21st. I said, hey, let's go to Vegas. And, you know, I'd seen Paul over the years. I mean, I started at the last seat at the highest, my back against the wall. You know, he looked like this big, but man, it was great. And just as you get older and you make more money, you can progressively move up.
Right.
And he's just seen me over the years. And I've always carried a little sign that just says, I want to hug you, you know. And that's all I wanted, just a hug.
Right.
And so in Vegas, my son said, I'm going to make it, or actually my friend Bob Gannon said, Matthew should hold a sign that says, please hug my mom, to go with your sign that says, I want a hug. He read it and he goes, I'm going to hug your mom. So he called me up and I got a big hug and a great exchange, and it was amazing. And ever since then, it's just kind of, I've been very fortunate to be in the right place, in the right position, to be able to take photographs. And they've been gracious enough not to say, you can't print that or you can't do that. There's been times I've been told to put my camera away, and I put it away. If his guy comes and says, I'm like, put it away. Because you just don't have his camera up all the time, you know. And I just learned a long time ago. I mean, I've done press passes and stuff like that. I've had credentials. I've been vetted, all that stuff. It's just better to buy a ticket. You're closer. You get more songs. You take more pictures.
Right.
Most press passes, you get 3 songs. It equals 20 minutes, about 20 minutes. And most of the people that are up front never give you that 3 songs.
Right.
You know, some people, one song can be, 7 minutes. And the guy has played 3 songs. I'm like, that was 1 song. So, honestly, I am a believer in luck. I am a believer in things happening. And if you put out that intention or you have that faith, you know it's going to happen. I bought an outfit a few years ago. I tried it on when I was at the place I was going to buy the outfit. As soon as I put the outfit on, I said to myself, I'm going to meet Paul McCartney in this outfit.
And
Set it aside. Knew it. Believed it. Never gave it another thought.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we focus on things, we can talk ourselves out of it.
Yes.
We can doubt. Especially with the Pam Grout book, The E Squared.
Yes.
She's just talking about how we need to focus and believe and put it all with our being. Sometimes all of our being is that ego and that negativity that says, won't happen. So far-fetched. You're out of your mind. This could never happen. Let me tell you something. I have seen things that should never, could never, would never happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true, Keri. So true. And you're getting a lot of love from the audience, first of all.
Thank you. You're getting a lot of love back.
They're loving this story. And Wendy says, my friend in Liverpool's uncle was known as the 5th Beatle when the Beatles first started. He was their drummer, Pete Best.
I love
Oh my
Pete.
God.
I know Pete. I know Rogue. I know his brother, Rogue Best. Absolutely. They have a great Liverpool museum there. I mean, a great family, great people. Absolutely. Could have been sour, could have turned on the legacy, but he's a bigger part of the legacy than any of them to me. I love Pete. So
I do too.
Heyman's dream, baby. Heyman's dream.
So thank you, Wendy. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you, Wendy.
And then back to our conversation. I just love this. And when you had that thought is creating. So like you had that thought, I'm going to meet Paul McCartney in this dress. Well, I went to Vegas, oh my gosh, I think it was like 3 years ago now. And and I'd never been to Vegas before. As soon as I got there, and I was staying at the MGM Grand, and up on the, you know how they have all of the big billboard posters on the side of the hotel. And David Copperfield was the one that was up. I love magic. I love David Copperfield. And I said, if I see any show, if I get to see anything here in Vegas, I want to see David Copperfield. That's who I want to see. I saw David Copperfield. I sat 7 rows back from the stage, and I paid $20.
Woohoo! Yeah.
I totally manifested that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my friend that was with me, she goes, "Let's go to a show," and I'm going, "I don't have money to go to that show. It's like,
$100, yeah.
big bucks." And so let's go anyway. So we go down and we ask, are there any free tickets? I mean, you never know until you ask, right?
Exactly.
Maybe there's an empty seat, and they just want to feel seats. I'm going, okay. So we ask, and they're like, "Well, we don't have any, but you can go down to where the event is and see. Just ask. Go up to the box office and just ask." So we were heading to the box office. Didn't even get there. This guy that was letting people in stopped us. We didn't go to him. He stopped us and asked if we were going to the show. And we're going, "Well, we want to. We don't have tickets." "Okay, hold on just a minute." And he comes back and he goes, "Do you have $20? And we're like, "Yeah." $20. Both of us got in, and we sat 7 seats back from the
I
stage.
love that.
It was the most amazing experience.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Keri, that man just blows me away. I
Yeah.
love magic, but somebody that professionally well done.
Yeah.
I just sat there and all the whole time I was like, how does he do that? And he gave us a high five. I actually touched David Copperfield's hand. So talk about manifesting that thought. Excuse me, that very first thought. When you have it, don't let it go.
Yeah, don't dismiss it. How many times have we had that thought, and then the second thought was like, where did that come from? Never happened.
Yeah,
you had it,
exactly.
So it could happen.
Yeah. But then the ego kicks in, and somebody said that. I think it was Stacy. Those egos are trouble.
And when you have a big one,
yeah.
It talks a lot in my head. I don't mean that like I'm just a confident person, not cocky, but that ego wants to like get me in trouble a lot. It wants me to pop off and say things and lose my temper and stub my toe and do all those things. And it is a battle to quiet it down. And when you're a Gemini, there's like 7 of us in here.
Oh, you got 2 egos. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's true. We get the doubts that come in, if we let it, if we allow it. We have choices. And it's the same thing when people start criticizing or judging us. We have a choice of how we're going to react to that criticism or that judgment, don't we?
Absolutely. And you never know what that person's going through in that minute that they react or come at you. You never know what's going on. And I shared with you recently that I let a very long-term friendship go.
Yeah.
It didn't end like the best, but it ended. And so in that way, there is a little bit of, I don't want to say joy because you don't ever want to be joyous, but there is closure and love from a distance, love from afar. I love a lot of people from afar now. As you know, I have a pretty wide circle, and there's always somebody coming in and out of here because I love that. I love everybody. I want everybody to have this experience here. But not everybody's meant to have the experience. And that's what I forget sometimes when I'm trying to pull everything in. Am I doing it for the right reasons? Or am I doing it for the feeling? Am I doing it, for the love and honestly saying, I'm open, come stay? Or am I doing it because I want it too, So.
Yeah. It's that discerning that we have to really develop and know. And if something is not feeling right with us, then look at it. I've had this happen too, Keri. It's like, you're just enamored by something or something somebody's saying, and you're like, wow. And then the wow turns to, huh? Like, huh? Did I really hear that? Or did I see that? That's the other thing, is sometimes there can be all of this wonderful talk and, the love, and then you're like, wait a minute, I'm not seeing that happen. I'm hearing those words, but I'm not seeing it happen. And that's happened a lot too. So it's just really discerning, is this truth? Is this truth?
Yeah. the big thing is don't give up. Like, keep resonating. That's the thing you got to remember. I mean, there is a Paul McCartney song, and it's called Appreciate, and I absolutely love the lyrics. It's one of his later songs. People think Paul stopped recording and making music. This guy, I mean, he blinks and a orchestra comes out. Okay, so
Right.
it's called Appreciate, and it says, in the middle of a crisis, when you're left for dead in the middle of a crisis, you must appreciate the day. So no matter what, keep resonating. Right now is a heavy time. A lot of folks are under attack. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of things being slung. There's a lot of pin-up feelings that are erupting.
Yeah.
And as a person who has an explosive temper, when you erupt, it's a very hard thing to rein it back in. It's very hard.
Yeah.
And it's almost like recovering from an illness, if that makes any sense at all.
Oh, absolutely.
So just keep resonating, keep finding like-minded energies, keep yourself as flowing as you possibly can, because we sure can dam up our own flow by ourselves. In the world right now doesn't want this collective consciousness. They want us divided. They want us hating each other. They want us after each other for whatever reason. I'm not going to get into the wheres or the hows or the whats. All I know is that my heart is full of love, and I'm going to continue to love this world and try to love my brother and sister and just be the best person I can be for all, not just myself. And that's the biggest lesson you learn in these journeys.
It really is. Yeah. And it does hurt when people criticize or throw those arrows. It does hurt. So we need to acknowledge that, you know, and not, I've talked to some friends, they're like, well, I just let it slide off my back. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
But there's a part of you that felt it. So acknowledge that. Don't dwell in it, but acknowledge it.
Exactly.
And wow, people are loving this conversation.
Well, I tell you, if you've got something to say to somebody, say it and be honest. Don't be hurtful. Don't be judgmental. But the biggest disservice, and we as females do this worse than men. Men can have a knockout, drag out discussion, beat the crap out of each other, get up and be like, hey, buddy, let's go have a beer. It's done. Yeah. Women hold grudges. We fight. We say things internally in our head because we've been conditioned that way our whole lives. If you have an issue with your female friend, be honest right there in the moment. Your friendship and your relationship with that person will be infinitely better if you are honest in that moment. If someone said something or hurt your feelings, you just say, you know what, it kind of hurt. Where did that come from? This is how it made me feel. And if you can't have that conversation with that person openly and honestly in that moment, you shouldn't be friends with them. Point blank.
Yeah, exactly.
But be honest.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Yeah. Or if they don't receive your words, you know, if they're not receiving what you're trying to tell them, that they hurt you and that, you know, you're not comfortable with that, if they're just totally defensive and not hearing it and not wanting to look at it, then separate from that person, and distance will be the best thing for you.
Yes.
And I know there's some people really liking that. And Stacy says self-love is also letting go of hurtful people. It's not easy at times.
It's very true. Yeah. I mean, she's spot on. And it's not. I mean, it's a mourning. It's like a death. It really is like a death. Yeah. Losing people that you're used to or things that you're used to. So.
Yeah. And Angie Taylor, she says it's a big one at the moment to have the courage to step out of something or someone's life when it's done, and you know that it's done.
Yes.
Yeah, because there are those relationships that are for a purpose.
Yes.
So let's say someone comes into your life and there was a purpose for them being there, and then that's done, and you both know it's done. But then sometimes it's hard to take that step away because you're comfortable, right? You know that person, you know who they are.
Yeah, you want those good times. And it just comes to, like you said, everything in life is a cycle. Think about it. Everything totally reciprocating all the time. We just keep rolling, you know.
Right.
And maybe, like you said, you just get to that point on the wheel where you exit off and you go another flow, and it's okay.
Exactly. But if you're
I find love and joy in that I was that for that person in that moment, and they were it for me in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, but definitely don't just sit and dwell in that energy, that negativity, because that's just going to bring your vibration down, and it's not going to end well for anybody if you do that.
No.
So either step away or resolve the differences, with love and no judgment, no criticism. Like Sharon Reyes says, no judgment, just love.
Exactly. And it's very hard when you have things that you swallowed over the years. That's why I'm saying being honest, because what happened with me in my situation, and it's nothing against that person. I love that person. That person was very good to me. And we had some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful times. Sister times, thick as thieves. But there just comes this point where you let all these little things slide until one day you turn around and it's a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, whoa, I'm either going to have to go through it, around it, or turn around and walk away.
Yeah, it's hard to move.
People do that to me too. I mean, I've had people tell me, look, I can't be a part of your life anymore. And it hurt, and it felt bad, and what's wrong with me, and all that stuff that you go through. But I appreciated their honesty. I didn't realize it till later.
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes that is the case. When we say something to somebody and they're not seeing it, and they won't hear it from you, they might hear it from another person, and then they're like, oh, somebody else told me that. But if we don't speak up and tell them, this is what why I'm distancing, then they're not going to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody does that inner work. They don't go in and see what's inside of there.
It's trying. It's tough to go in and take a look at your ugly bits. Nobody wants to look at their ugly bits. But we have filters for cameras and Photoshop and autocorrect. There is beauty in failure. There is beauty in broken. There is absolute beauty in chaos, because out of it comes creation and growth and change. So it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to have those feelings, because it's like a heartbeat. You got to have the downbeat to have the upbeat.
Yes.
So just
absolutely.
Keep beating.
keep beating. Keep feeling that heartbeat. Sally's in the house. Sally! Hi, honey.
I'm in Tennessee, so I'm closer to you. I need to come up there.
I know. She says, I've had to walk away from my mother and sister because of their love for drama and gossip. Oh my gosh. Anybody else have that ever happen to you? Maybe not with your family, but stepping away from people because that's all they want to do is gossip about others. And if I can't say it to somebody's face, I'm not going to say it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. I finally got the comments to come up. So
oh, good. Yay. Yeah, we have beautiful people on. And if you all start putting in your prayer requests, we can get those going in the comments as we continue our discussion.
Yes, I have a neighbor. Her name's Brittany Bowman. It's actually my neighbor's daughter. This family that lives next to me, I've lived next to them for almost 10 years now, and I love them dearly. They're like family to me. She's been diagnosed with a very aggressive cancer. This is absolutely a beautiful soul. This young lady is one of those people that you just say, why? Why her? Like, why?
Yeah.
Gorgeous young lady, beautiful family, beautiful soul. And I know she can beat it. I know that for a fact.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely know she has a prayer family and wrapped around her. Like, her circle is not broken, nor will it ever be. So I'm telling you, if you will just lift up Brittany Bowman, lift her up in thanks and gratitude for healing. That's what I'm asking for. That's my prayer request for that young lady. Lift her up in gratitude and healing.
Is it Bowman? B-O-W?
Yeah, B-O-W-M-A-N. Brittany.
All right.
It's B-R-I-T-N-E-E. Brittany Bowman. Beautiful young lady.
Okay, it's in there, honey.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, and anyone else that wants to put some prayers in, Carol Allen, prayers for myself today that my neurologist appointment goes well this morning. Yes, Carol, you are in our circle. Yeah. And Deirdre,
Deirdre, yeah, I love what Deirdre had to say.
Do you want to read that?
Says, I had to let my only sister go. When I told her I was a light worker, she asked me if I drank the Kool-Aid. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
I've kind of tipped around this whole thing for a few years now, because I was raised Southern Baptist. Actually, I think my parents were actually grew up in Church of God. I'm not sure, but we were raised Southern Baptist. And, for years and years and years, God was this angry guy in the sky, hellfire and damnation, love me or else, live this way or else. And as I've grown older and done my own experience and done my own searches, yes, I am a believer in Jesus Christ. Absolutely, 110%, no doubt about it. But I'm that good old token heathen too, So yeah. I live my life as God and Jesus made me. And it's taken me a long time to realize that God is within. And he plainly says we can do works as great, if not greater than he. And so that's what I'm holding on to today, is that to be Christ-like is to go out and have that intention and have that faith and walk the walk and talk the talk. And that's the hardest part.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, I was in the Southern Baptist Church as well, Keri. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's all of that judgment, that hell and damnation, and you're just inundated with that. And it's fear. It's fear-based.
It's very fear-based. One second God is loving, next minute he's going to strike you dead.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, wait a minute, that's not a good business plan. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it's a total conflict. And I had a million questions, and I can't live in fear. And wait a minute. The angels tell me the word can't means choose not to. So I choose not to live in fear.
Choose not to live in fear. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's next. I'm looking forward to whatever it is, but I don't know what's next. And I'm not going to live my life based on or else.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Or else.
I totally agree with you 100%. So we've still got some prayers coming up. I love this. Michael Warren, unspoken. Okay, we're going to put you in the circle. And Angie, continue prayers for my sons. She has 2 sons. And for me to continue having courage to choose me and take care of my highest good, so my boys have the best version of me to learn from. Oh my God, I love that prayer request so much, Angie. Thank you. Thank you. And we do have to take care of ourselves first. We don't have anything to give if it's not brought in by us into our hearts, and then we can give.
Right, exactly. Prayers for a quick sale of her home and great success for Sally and Tony's new venture. That's from Julie Kiss.
Yes,
absolutely. Julie. That's awesome. Carol Allen said, I had to let the relationship with my best friend go. Painful, but necessary.
It is painful.
Stacy said, Southern Baptist here too, and my cousin told me I'm going to hell for being psychic. LOL. I backed off. I backed off 2 years ago. I was really hitting a good clip, and then I backed way off. And you and I have spoken privately about those things, because I've always had a fear of, if I open up to the possibility that I have gifts, I'm going to let something dark and bad in. And, my family will be cursed, or I'll bring something on my family and all that thing. And it's still stepping past all of those barriers and conditions. But you know what? In my heart, I know what I know, and I know how I live my life. And I love Jesus, and I don't think anybody would debate that fact with me, but I choose to love him in my way.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And not with all those limitations and putting a box around him. You can't box up Jesus. It doesn't happen. Yeah.
And you know what? I actually have it right here. I love Reverend Ike. I don't know Reverend Ike.
Yeah, you've shared him with me before.
Reverend Ike is a old 70s preacher. He's a prosperity preacher, okay?
Okay.
He's But absolutely, it's called The Science of Living, and Health, Joy, and Prosperity for You. It's an absolutely amazing little book. Just like this, Jesus realized who he was in God and who God was in him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I love Reverend Ike. You can catch some of his sermons on YouTube. He is a showman. He has absolutely got the spirit, and he really breaks it down for somebody like me who questions everything. I was the young kid who looked at my uncle, who was a Baptist minister of this mega church, and said, "Where did God come from?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "You blasphemer!"
Oh, yeah.
That's a legitimate question. Where did he come from?
Yeah.
And he sits right here. This is his throne, right here. There's his throne. There's his throne. Like, he sits right here.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance, check out some Reverend Ike just for some
absolutely
uplifting way to look at the scripture. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it. I love it, Keri. Thank you for sharing that. And YouTube, go look up Reverend Ike, I-K-E.
He is something else. World renowned, intelligent, love the guy's spirit.
Okay, so Stacy would like the name of it. So it's Reverend Ike. And what's the name of the book?
Health, Joy, and Prosperity for You.
I'm typing it in.
Science of Living Study Guide.
Okay, see how much I love you all. I'm typing this name in there.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I love this prayer from Charles. Prayers for those who don't see the light, that they may see the light one day soon. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of darkness out there. So let's definitely get that light shining bright out into the world.
Oh, Stacy, I feel you. Stacy said, I let my gifts go and now I'm trying to get them back.
Yes. Yep. And you are, Stacy. I've been working with you, and I know that they're there. We all have that.
Yeah, they never left.
No, they didn't. We all have it
down.
Yeah, it's our birthright.
You know, that's the thing. Whatever's divinely set for you is divinely set for you, and nothing and nobody can keep you from it other than your choices.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I pray for discernment and guidance every day, you know.
Yeah.
I was so happy that my parents, they were the ones, they showed up unannounced here Saturday. And, you know, I usually have a crew the night before on a Friday night. So it was actually a quiet night and the house wasn't too much of a disarray. But that was one thing when talking to my parents, my mom was just like, you know, I don't worry about you, Keri. She's like, I just don't worry about you. She said, I worry about you because you're my child, but I never worry about you being okay or finding your way or anything else. And to hear that from my mom, it was like,
that's awesome. Yeah. she's your cheerleader.
Well, there's no doubt my mother has gifts. I know that. My mother's one of the most intuitive, psychic people I've ever met in my life. And, you know, she just has never had the opportunity. But I mean, she has premonitions all the time.
Yeah, I have my whole life. And I kind of shut that down because I said, okay, what good's it going to do for me to know this? I can't do anything about it. It's going to happen, right? But I can pray about it, and I can, you know, because we always have free will. We always have choices. So even when we see that there's something that's a possibility, that doesn't have to happen because we can intervene. There's always, we have unlimited possibilities of how things come to be. So yeah, so we can always lift up prayer, and that's what we do on here. We lift up prayer and ask for that intervention, just like your friend that's been diagnosed. You know, there's different outcomes that could happen there, but she's surrounded with love, and now she's in our circle of love, and anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've known people that came back from stage 4 different types of cancer and are absolutely cancer free, and you know, in your own story, you know, the struggles you've been through with some health issues, and I mean, and by all intents and purposes, you shouldn't be here.
I should not be here. I shouldn't have been here 45 years ago when my kidneys failed, and I had no idea that I was in kidney failure.
Yeah.
You know, it was like my life is a miracle. And I say that every day. And I'm grateful every time I open my eyes and I have another day.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything can happen. So never quit, never give up, never say you're done, because you don't know what that next moment is going to bring. And I love that saying, and I believe it's from the rooms of AA. It says, "Don't quit 1 minute before your miracle."
Yeah. When you said that to me, I was just like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. This miracle
Unless your
happen.
spirit tells you to quit, then you quit.
That's right. That is right. You'll know the moment. You'll know
I
that
said,
moment
yeah,
when
you will.
you
It was
need
like
to.
this. The Holy
Yeah.
Spirit just went, that's enough of that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you'll know
You gotta go.
inside. Yeah, you'll know when it's time to make that shift and make that change, and that's when you listen to your intuition and you listen to your higher self. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, we got to get praying.
I know we do. Wow.
Yeah. Prachetta asked for Hermit, a close friend and colleague from work, and his family to be healthy, happy, and strong, and that his and pray for the right diagnosis in the hospital. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I know I've missed some of the prayers, but they're there, and I read through them. And we're lifting all of you, whoever you have in your heart. We're putting you all into the circle today, and your loved ones. Ah, absolutely. So let's do our prayer time and lift these prayers up. And then after that, we get to give some love. I love giving that at the end of every day. So it's such a beautiful tradition that we have started and we continue here at this show, and with our Angelic River family. You all
And
are
however
family.
you come to God, or however you come to your source, or whatever you want to call it, that's completely up to you. However
Yeah.
you come to it, just keep doing that. Just keep
Keep
coming.
doing it. Yes.
Just keep putting that love, keep pulling that feeling. And if you don't believe in source, if to you this is pie in the sky, woohoo, and Lucky Charms and all that stuff, the thing about it is you have a feeling there's something that gets you up every day. There's
Mm-hmm.
something that starts your engine every single day. There's a spark the moment you open your eyes. If you don't believe in God, or you don't believe in source, or you don't believe in spirit, you can still be thankful and get up and say, whatever started my engine, I'm glad you turned the key.
That's
You
right.
can still live a life of spirit filled without believing.
Yeah.
It finds its
Absolutely.
way to convince you.
It does. It
It
does.
finds its way.
And I call it God. That's what I choose to
That's what
call
I call
that
it too.
that highest
I
power
mean,
that is. Pam Grout calls it the dude,
the
and
dude, whatever.
it's not disrespectful to say whatever resonates with you. That's your
Absolutely.
concept. That's you, and being you, who you are, and
Right.
never conform to what somebody else says. You have to call it this. Whatever resonates with you.
Absolutely.
But so when I say the word God, you just envision whatever you envision for that highest being that is,
Right.
and however you refer to that.
And
So
you hear a lot of people talk about too, God's not doing anything. Where's God? Where's God? Where's God in the world? Why isn't he stopping this? Why can't he stop this? He is stopping it. He is doing something. God is within. We are
yes,
changing.
yes,
God is changing the world. God is doing something
yes,
because we are God within and we are doing it. We
yes,
are changing that world. God within, God created. We're co-creating with him the world that he intended for us.
that's
And so
right.
that's a
And
beautiful thing.
yeah, and how are we creating? We create, like we said earlier, with our thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
our words, what we put out there. So yeah, I love that, and thank you. And Sharon Boyle's on. She says the dude with the long beard.
He can look however he wants to, like however you see God. I mean, I see God in Nito all the time. Like Nito's my little.
Oh yes,
Yesterday he was in the best mood. He was so loving. He looked so handsome and cute, and he was just spreading it everywhere, man.
yeah.
He snuck off to a neighbor's. We were sitting outside, and I looked up, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" My neighbor calls me, and she's like, "Are you missing somebody?" And I was just like, "That little minx." He heard her voice and just decided he was bored with me. He would go love somebody else.
He is just a little socializer.
My butterfly, that boy is.
He
But
really is.
absolutely, I mean, I know we're up and down and all around, but isn't that what the Holy Spirit is about? And that
Yes,
force and that fire.
the fire inside. It absolutely is. Yeah, and I didn't have a good understanding of that when I was in the walls of the church. It was like it was always said that was always stated, but it was never explained what that was.
Uh,
And it really is what's inside of us. It's not something out there somewhere. It's in here. So yeah, and that's why when we do our prayer, which we're doing right now, I always invite you to take that breath inside, to go inside, because that's where God is. That's where the Holy Spirit is. And oh, I just love doing that. So let's do that. Let's take a big breath right into that heart space. You know, we have our physical heart that keeps our body going, that keeps the blood pumping and keeps everything moving. But we have our heart center, and that's where our Holy Spirit is. That's where this spirit part of us that's in this body lives. So go in there, go to that place, breathe that life right in there with that oxygen that says, I'm here, I'm alive. I acknowledge that I am spirit. I acknowledge you, God. I acknowledge that I am a being of light. I'm a spark of the divine. And I have this running through this human body and running on the outside because it can't be contained in one vessel. I am such a part of God that it shines through me. This body is not important. It is only a blimp in history. It's only a spark, a short moment. But I honor and respect it for what it's doing for me right now. It's housing the spirit and helping me to see and be around others and shine my light to others. And let's all take that breath in and see the light. See your light inside. Is it a little flame? Is it not igniting as high as that flame can go? So look at your flame and just breathe light into it. Breathe the air right into that flame that's burning in your heart center. And watch it as you add the air in, what happens to a flame. It starts igniting higher and brighter. See all the colors of the flame. Watch it as it flickers and moves and makes shapes. Watch the flame inside of you today. Let's really bring that flame to a real burning fire inside. I see yellows and oranges and golds in there. Oh, wow. What a beautiful image of that fire. Just let it continue to grow as you breathe in your breath. Breathe in light. Breathe in life into your flame inside. There's no walls. There's no restriction on how big your flame can grow. Let it be immense. Let it be what other people see when they look at you. Do they see that light shining out of your eyes? When people look at you, that's the first thing they look for. What's in your eyes? Are your eyes shining love? Are they shooting out judgment? They're going to see you through your eyes. They're going to see the real you, and how big that flame is burning inside of you is what's going to be reflected to them. So let your light shine. Burn up all that judgment. Just let the fire do that. Let it burn up criticism. Anything that is not the way you think it should be. Let's lose all the shouldas. Let's don't should all over ourselves. Let's put that in the fire and lose the judgment, lose the criticism. Let only love be inside of you, and that love will grow with that fire that's growing. Let the fire come now to the outside. See it burning anything on the outside of you that doesn't need to be in your energy. Anything that's bringing you down and causing you to have discomfort. whether that's pain or emotional pain. Let's let all of that burn up in the fire, bringing you totally in alignment with where you are in the world. And then let's see that fire from all of our hearts travel into the world. See it burning up hatred, burning up racism, burning up all of that judgment, all of those low vibrations, all of the image of separation, that illusion that we're separate from each other. We are all one. So let our fires unite right now as one fire, going out over our world to burn up any debris that is not in alignment with God, that's not in alignment with peace, and not in alignment with loving each other and seeing each other in our perfection. So hold that image with me of anything that is not of God, anything that is not of love and light, just being burned away, so that all that's left is this beautiful energy of peace, love, and joy on our planet. Ooh, that's a beautiful image. Hold that for a moment and just envision that there's angels all around the planet right now, touching people's hearts in this way, touching that flame that's inside of them and helping it to ignite stronger and stronger, burning out anger, burning out sadness, burning out anything that's causing a barrier between them and God. I feel Saint Germain's energy. He's so happy that we did the fire today. And Saint Germain brings in the violet flame. You can call that violet flame anytime you want and just ask for anything that's not in alignment with your highest purpose to be burned away, to be removed from you. And let's do that right now. If you feel any place inside of you where you're holding judgment or you're holding insecurity, if you're not feeling your worth, put that in that violet flame and just let it be burned away. Let's own our power today. Let's really be the best light worker we can be. Even in the midst of others' judgment and criticism, it doesn't matter. As long as we own our worth, we own our power. That's all that matters. And focusing on us and not on what anybody else is doing is what's going to let you own your power. Whew, put yourself first. That's the big message today. Put yourself first. Do the self-care, do the self-love. And when you get in touch with who you really are and you feel that powerful being that you are, then your flame inside your heart goes absolutely through the world, letting the world see how much they're loved, letting each other see how much they're loved. So let's bring our prayer requests in now. Let's ask our angels to help lift up everyone that was put in our circle. Help every prayer request be seen individually, asking God, the highest power that is, to look at these prayer requests as only God can, knowing the best outcome, knowing what's going to happen in that person's life as they make their choices and make their decisions, and asking for divine intervention, asking for miracles in each of these requests that we put forth, and help us to see the miracles in our life, things that maybe we haven't considered that are miracles. Help us to open our eyes and have the clarity to see. So with trust, faith, and belief in that higher power, we are turning all of these prayer requests over. We're letting them go, and we don't have to hold that any longer inside of us. Our fire is burning bright because there's no burdens in there. We've let them go. And we put each other in our circle in those prayer requests. asking for miracles in everyone's life that's connected here right now. And let's tighten up our circle. Let's come in like just like a huddle on a football field. Let's all huddle together right now. And we've got our hands out in the middle of the huddle. We're all putting our hands on top of each other's hands. And we all know what's coming. We all anticipate that moment of giving love to each other, because that lifts us. That keeps us going during the day, is knowing that we came here for that moment of love. We came here to share of our hearts with each other. And that's what we do at this moment. We give our love. So starting with one person at a time in our huddle, we're going to look at them and we're going to say, I love you, and say it from your heart. I love you. And get it back. Bring it back in. Bring it back into the huddle. Hold that hand in the huddle. Hold it tight so they feel it. Whew. And then we're going to give some gratitude. I love gratitude. And it's the same vibration as love. So when you're feeling love and gratitude, you're really lifting each other up. So we start by saying thank you to everyone, and then I love you. So Keri, you want to count us down to saying that?
Yes, you ready? At the count of three.
Ready.
1, 2, 3. I love you and thank you.
I love you. Oh, big hugs, big air hugs to everybody. Oh my gosh, lots of hearts. I love you all so much. Keri, this has been amazing. Oh my
Great
gosh.
fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Me too.
It was as needed as it was a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you for sharing yourself so raw and real, and just letting us get to see you. We see you on the comments, but seeing you is a blessing.
Oh, likewise, my sister. I love you so much. And, you know, there's no doubt the universe brought us together, the way it all kind of fell out. And here we are a couple of years later, just living the best lives and trying to do the best for not only ourselves, but our loved ones in the world we're living in. And that's all anyone can ask. And, you know, that's one thing here about the Cracker Box. People know if you need a place to stay, if you need to be fed, whether it's physically or spiritually, come here. This place is absolute magic, and you'll get a reprieve, you'll get a rest, you'll get a break. Even if we don't say a word, just being here and being in a place that just resonates. I'm just very blessed to have this place. When I set foot in it, I knew. So that's what you are. This is like the virtual Cracker Box that you bring every day. People have a place to go when they can be with like-minded folks, and they can speak their truth and not feel judged or fearful. And I don't want to live in fear anymore, Teri. So thank you very, very much for opening my eyes on some things in my life that I was living under the shadow. So blessings for the gratitude and the love. Thank you so much. I felt honored to be a part of this morning. Thank everybody for your comments and your love. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to see, you know, who's next.
Who's next? Tomorrow is Diana. She's coming up with me. Yes.
I got to get up and see Diana now that things have kind of opened back up. I've got to get up there. She loves the mountains as much as I do. So I got to get up there and spend some time out in the mountains with her.
And I'm going to be doing some traveling, so I want to see you again too in person. I can't wait.
July, right? You're coming in July, is that right?
In July, and in August I'm going to see Sally De La Rosa. So
So you got to come and stay here. You're more than welcome to stay the night. You know that.
Oh, thank you. You're
more than welcome, and whoever you have with you, I don't care. You can have, you know, we'll talk.
We'll talk. Oh, thank you all so much. And Deirdre is taking us out. Do you see it?
Let's see.
That's how we end all of our shows, with Miss Deirdre's words. So I don't see it yet. I'll let you get there because we got to do the tradition.
For some reason, I'm not getting comments again.
Oh, okay. So you know the saying, right, that Deirdre uses every day?
What did she say?
Deirdre says, Namaste, y'all.
Namaste, y'all.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I love you so much. Bye, everybody.
Love you.